Hare Krishna. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyanangana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapitmena Bhutale Svarkadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shutpada Kamalam Shigurun Вишнивамча, Шрупа Сагажатам Схагана Рагунатам Витам Там Сачивам, Ствайтам Савудутам Париджана Схитам Кришна Читая Девам, Шрада Кришна Падан Схагана Олита Шивишакам Витамча. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gorangi, Radha Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishapanu Sute Devi Pernamami Hari Priye. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirshesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasati Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. I will now go to the end of Bhagavad-Gita. This is not the Bhagavad-Gita in full. This is not the whole Bhagavad-Gita, but some chapters are selected. Not chapters, some verses are selected from a Maharaj, and it represents Bhagavad-Gita very nicely. Of course, every verse of Bhagavad-Gita is valuable, but just on the day of the appearance of Bhagavad-Gita, it is convenient to have some version which represents Bhagavad-Gita as information, but when it is a little bit shorter, it can be recited a little bit for a little bit less time, so it is convenient for the appearance day of Bhagavad Gita to read from it. So but I have taken it because it was just so interesting to me to see what verses Maharaj have selected. That's why I started to read it. Yes, okay. are we now? So, 1864. So, 1864, we read the last time. I read the last time. Now, I will continue with the next one. 1865 and 18, with the next two, 1865 and 1866. Man mana bhava mat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vashyasi satyante pratijane priyusi me sarvadharma parityagya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papevyo Mokshashami Mashucha. Also, the last one is a famous one, 1866, and it is one of the verses which I learned in the Bhakti Shastri course, for example. Okay, we have learned it in Bhakti Shastri course. We had to we had to uh, learn it by heart for the Bhakti Shastri course. This was one of the verses which we had to learn by heart. Okay, now let's see where yes. Okay, translation of verse 1865. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me. Oh, I think this was also one of the verses we had to learn in the Bhakti Shastri course. Yes. Okay. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. And translation of verse 1866. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So the next two are 1867 and 1869. Idam te natapaskaya navyataya kadachana nacha shushavivachiya nacha mamyo vyasuyati nacha tasmamenushishu कश्चिन् मे प्रियकृतमः भवतः च मे तस्मात् अन्यप्रियतरो भुवि. Translation of 1867. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me, says Lord Krishna. And translation of 1869. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Oh, as who? Yeah. Oh yeah, here's not the verse with the where is explained who is that. Oh, I have to find the other verse also. Sorry, 1868 maybe. Just a moment. Just a moment. 1868. Just a moment. So, 1868. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. And then he says in verse 1869, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees. So let us see the previous one also, 1867. This confidential knowledge. Yes, this what I read already. Yes, this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. And then he says, yes, 1868. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. And in 1869, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So let's see about 68. What is the purport of Srila Prabhupada? Just a moment, let's see. This is small purport, yes. Generally, the purport of His Divine Grace by Charanavrinda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Generally, it is advised that Bhagavad-Gita be discussed amongst the devotees only, for those who are not devotees will understand neither Krishna nor Bhagavad-Gita. Those who do not accept Krishna as he is and Bhagavad-Gita as it is should not try to explain Bhagavad-Gita whimsically and become offenders. Bhagavad-Gita should be explained to persons who are ready to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a subject matter for the devotees only and not for philosophical speculators. Anyone, however, who tries sincerely to present Bhagavad-Gita as it is will advance in devotional activities and reach the pure devotional state of life. As a result of such pure devotion, he is sure to go back home, back to Godhead. See how nice it is explained from Bhagavad Gita. For Bhagavad Gita from Srila Prabhupada. Those who are, well, maybe I will not repeat it in the right way, but um, it is something like those who give the message of Bhagavad Gita to the other people will be Krishna will this person is very dear to Krishna, and Krishna will um, help this person to become a pure devotee if this person is not pure devotee yet. So yes. Okay, so let's see the next ones. Okay, 1872 and 73 and oi, oi, oi. Let's see. Oh, okay, 4. Okay, yes. Okay, 1872 and 73.
Kachite shrutam parta tvaya kagrina chitasa kachita gnana samoha pranashashta dhananjaya Arjuna uvacha Nasto moha smritilada tvam prasada maya tyuta stitosmi gata sandeya karisiya vachana vachanam tava.
Okay, translation of 1872, verse 1872 from Bhagavad-Gita. O son of Partha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? And 1873. Translation. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. Okay, the next one, 1870, 75, 1875 and 78.
Vyasyaprasade shrutavam etadguhyam aham param yogam yogeshvarat Krishna sakshat khatata svaya yatra yogeshvara Krishna Yatra parto dhanurdara tatra shri vijayo buddhi truvanitir matir mama.
1875. Translation. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. Oh, this is Sanjaya who is saying this. Oh, yes. I think this is Sanjaya. Let us see. Just a moment. So sorry, I don't know exactly. 70. Let us see the previous one, 74. Yes, Sanjay is saying this. The previous one, 74, Sanjaya is saying, okay, I will read also this one. Try to sing also this one. Bhagavad-Gita 18:74.
Sanjaya uvacha iti aham vasudevasya partasya cha mahatmana sampadame mamashasham abhutam roma harshana abhuta Romaharshana.
Translation of verse 1874 from Bhagavad Gita. Sanjaya said, "Thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end." So he's able to hear this from a distance. He was not there personally, but he was able with his mystic powers, which uh, were um, um, yes, he had some mystic powers, so he could hear it from a great distance and explain and say to the king what is going on, what are they talking about. Yes, so let's see. Purport. There is a purport of Srila Prabhupada. Let's read it. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra inquired from his secretary Sanjaya what happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The entire study was related to the heart of Sanjaya by the grace of his spiritual master Vyasa. He thus explained the theme of the battlefield. So it is written here the entire study was related to the heart of Sanjaya by the grace of his spiritual master Vyasa. Yes, that means that his spiritual master Vyasa has empowered Sanjaya to be able to hear this conversation, see and hear from a distance, from a great distance, and say it then to Dhritarashtra. He thus explained. Now I continue with the reading of the purport of Srila Prabhupada. He thus explained the theme of the battlefield. The conversation was wonderful because such an important conversation between two great souls had never taken place before and would not take place again. It was wonderful because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was speaking about himself and his energies to the living entity, Arjuna, a great devotee of the Lord. If we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. Sanjay realized this, and as he began to understand it, he related the conversation to Dhritarashtra. Now it is concluded that wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory. Yes. Okay. So let us see what's the next. So this was this what Sanjay is saying, and then the next thing what he's saying is in the what Sanjay is saying. The next thing what Sanjay is saying is in the verse 1875. Yes. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. And now the last, just a moment. So the 78 is the last verse of Bhagavad-Gita. 1878. No, 1879. Yes. Oh, just a moment. Just a moment. Let us see. Okay. 1878. Yes, 1878. Yes, 1878 is the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, okay. Let us see. So it is here.
यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्ण यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धर तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूति ध्रुव नीतिर्मतिर्मम.
Translation. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. This is saying Sanjaya. Yes. Okay. So this is the end of those verses from Bhagavad Gita which are selected here. Yes. Okay. We heard already how where um, where are Arjuna and Krishna, there is victory and opulence and power and morality. So all these qualities in a positive way for all the living entities. And this shows itself also in the fact that Krishna has come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 16th century. So and in the personality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where the divine couple Srimati Radhika and Sri Krishna are together, this personality has come in the 16th century. And this is Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he has come to instruct us how a pure devotee thinks, how a pure devotee is in his or her feelings to the Lord and to the divine couple Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu really in his personality there are Srimati Radhika and Sri Krishna together. He has the his body has the golden complexion of the body of Srimati Radhika, and in his heart there are the feelings of Srimati Radhika, and especially the feelings of separation. Um, the crying in separation from Krishna. The crying in separation from Krishna. That means the love to Krishna. Um, for a person who is in separation from Krishna, and actually, such a person can be only a pure devotee. So, in every verse of Shri Shikshastaka is expressed the crying of a pure devotee in separation from Krishna. As Srimati Radhika is the topmost pure devotee, the feelings of Srimati Radhika to Krishna um, are expressed there in Shikshastaka, in Shri Shikshastaka, in every verse, and at the same time also the feelings of the other pure devotees, of the others pure devotees are expressed. But the topmost pure devotee is Srimati Radhika. She's on the first place in the heart of Krishna. After her are the other gopis of Vrindavan, and after them are many others, persons, many other personalities who are pure devotees to the Lord. For example, Narada Muni, Srila Narayana Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace Abhacharana Ravinda, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, his Guru Maharaj, his Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, the Sannyas Guru of Srila Prabhupada and the Diksha Guru of Srila Narayana Maharaj, Srila Pragyana Keshava Goswami Maharaj, the father of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and other personalities are also pure devotees. Of course, every of these personalities they have individual features as pure devotees. They are different personalities, but still the feelings the feelings of them, the love of these pure devotees to Krishna are expressed in Shri Shri Shikshastaka. Uh, and for example, in verse 7, yes, and at the same time, as Srimati Radhika is the topmost pure devotee, the Madanakya Mahabhav, the highest love in all the worlds, the love of Srimati Radhika to Shri Krishna is also expressed in Shri Shri Shikshastaka. For example, in verse 7, we see what he said, Yugaitam Nimeshna Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shnaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahename. Yugaitam Nimeshna Chakshusha Pravishaitam Shnaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahename. Govinda Virahename. In separation from Krishna. Yugaitam Nimeshna. Even a short period of time seems to be a yuga, a millennium. Chakshusha Pravishaitam. Tears are flowing from my eyes. Shunaitam Jagat Sarvam. The whole universe seems to be empty, void. Govinda Virahename. In separation from you, O Govinda. So, we see here how real love is expressed. And And even if the Madnaki Mahabhav, the highest love in all the worlds, the love of Srimati Radhika to Shri Krishna, this is the highest love, and this is the yes, it is the highest. But at the same time, here are expressed also the feelings of the other pure devotees. They are not the same. The different pure devotees, they are different, of course. They are different personalities. Still, at the same time, their feelings are expressed in every verse of Shri Shri Shikshastakam. So, in such words that these words in Shri Shri Shikshastaka, they describe their feelings, even if these personalities are different and their feelings are not exactly the same. Madhanaki Mahabhav, the love of Srimati Radhika to Shri Krishna, this is the highest love. The other pure devotees cannot express this love to Krishna. Their love is different. The other pure devotees have a little different love to Shri Krishna. Only Srimati Radhika expresses Madhanaki Mahabhav. But still, Shri Shikshastakam is expressed, is said, is spoken from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in such a way that it describes the feelings of all the pure devotees to Krishna and the crying in separation from every pure devotee from the Lord. Yes, as we all know from his Samodana Bhasyam, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura says about verse 7 that this is the it expresses, it shows the internal symptoms of perfection. So, in the spiritual world, the internal symptoms of perfection are the internal symptoms of love. The internal symptoms of love are the internal symptoms of perfection, and in the spiritual world, perfection means love. Yes, we all know in the world where we live at the moment, it's not exactly in this way. Perfection is not understood as love, and love is not understood as perfection. It could be understood even as weakness. In our world where we live at the moment, in this material world, our love is understood as weakness. It is not understood as perfection. But in the spiritual world, the love is the real love is understood as perfection. That's why in verse 7 are described the internal symptoms of perfection. As Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in his Sanmodana Bhasyam. So, there was the Vyasa Puja of Srila Narayan Maharaj on the 20th of January. So we have to be very thankful to such great personalities like him, because he have written this book on Sri Shastakam, where actually it is not only translation of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura's Sanmodana Bhasyam, which is explanation on Shikshastaka and translation of Shikshastaka and explanations on the verses of Shri Shikshastaka. This is not only this, the book Shri Shikshastakam, the book Shikshastakam is not only translation of Sanbodh Bhasyam, there are also commentaries, translation in English. It is translation in English, and additionally, there are commentaries from Srila Narayan Maharaj, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, and from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. So, you must be very thankful to all these great personalities for this opportunity to be able to read in English these explanations. Dandavad Pranam Jai to all of these personalities, Srila Narayana Maharaj and the other persons. They are really great acharyas. Let's see. Well, I will come to an end now because, or maybe I have to continue to read a little bit from Shikshastaka, from this book Shikshastaka actually. Yes, let us see where it was. Yes, no. Where is it? Yes, this here. Okay, Shikshastaka. So the book Shikshastaka. Yes. Now there is the explanation of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura on verse 3. Yes. I have reached with my slowly reading the explanation about the words terror pisunichna. Sorry, terror apisahisnuna. Terror apisahisnuna. More tolerant than a tree. The meaning of the statement terror apisahisnuna is that the tree is so tolerant that it does not neglect to offer its shade and sweet fruits even to the person who comes to cut it down, because the devotee of Krishna is even more merciful than the tree. He does good to all, both friend and enemy. This compassion, free from envy, is the second symptom of saintly persons engaged in the performance of Harinama Kirtana. Persons who chant the holy name free from all offenses think as follows: O Lord, my associates, who are all among the group of conditioned souls, are very unfortunate. How may they obtain attachment for your all auspicious holy name? Being blinded by the illusory energy, they are submerged in the happiness and distress of family, wealth, property, victory, defeat, loss, gain, birth, death. They are filled with the anarthas and have not even the slightest detachment from mundane matter. They are bound by the stringent ropes of innumerable desires for sense enjoyment. At all times, they are busily engaged in the seeking the fruit of karma and jnana. The fruit of karma is the momentary happiness of material enjoyment available in this world or in the heavenly planets. This momentary happiness ultimately leads to suffering. The fruit of jnana is impersonal liberation. How may the desire be awakened in them to perceive their actual form? Speaking thus, the practicing devotee, being deeply moved with emotion, begins to sing in a very loud voice. Brihaderadya Purana 38, 126. Now I will try to sing this verse which is citated here.
Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Kevala Kala Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, Bhagati Ranyata.
In Kali Yuga there is no other way, no other way, no other way than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name of Lord Hari. So this is a famous verse, yes. Brihaderadya Purana 38, 126, yes. Hare Nama, uh, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalona Stiva, Gatir Anita. Yes, a very famous verse. So, you see how again the chanting of the holy name is glorified very nicely. And here from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and and well, he's citating this from a book. So if you like, you could come on Friday at 5:30 p.m. in the temple. We will sing there the holy name of the Lord, the holy name of the Lord Krishna. If you have the desire, you can come. And also, you can also come and lead some kirtan, and or you can come and just sit there and listen to the names of the Lord as you like. So, and then at 6:30 there is um, Arati ceremony, and mm, and then a lecture on Bhagavad-Gita. So the next paragraph I will read next time. So now I will come to an end. Um, so we heard here how also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining here the position of the persons in this world, that they are just they have many activities which are maybe most of them in illusory energy, um, like being blind for the real truth. We are all this way, but um, the yes, we are actually all in this condition, and so he's saying here. And then he says, he explained this, and then he says, speaking thus, the practicing devotee, being deeply moved with emotion, begins to sing in a very loud voice that only in this Kali Yuga, only the chanting of the holy name is the actually the way. Yes, the only way. And it is repeated 3 times. Yes, in order um, to make it more powerful. This statement. So that's why 3 times in order to be more powerful. Yes. Uh, well, you all know this verse. I just I just like it, so that's why I again come to it. But also in a little bit similar way. No, in not in a similar way, but a little bit in this direction. Also, as you all know, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami in his Mandaha Shiksha is talking in verse 5, which I will again repeat now because I like it so much. Um, it just expresses so good the condition in which maybe all of us are, maybe some of us, I don't know. Let us see. Yes, it's a little bit like what um, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Not exactly the same, a little bit different, of course. So again, this verse 5 of Shriman Shiksha of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Сачта кашта прада, виката пшли бириха, прекамам към ди преката потъптивияти карехи. Калепо тваха неха ми типа капит въртен пагане. Крутвам под каранавати святата манайтаха. Сачта кашта прада, виката пшли бириха. Прекамам към ди преката потъптивияти карехи. Калеп тваха неха ми типа капит въртен пагане. Крутвам под каранавати святата манайтаха. So as you all know, he's saying here, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is saying here, um, in this material existence, there are aggressors on the open road, and they are binding my neck with torturous, dreadful ropes of wicked deeds. They are killing me. O mind, O brother, please call loudly call out loudly to Vaishnavas, the protectors of the path of Sri Krishna, the killer of Baka, the killer of the demon Baka. As a result, the devotees will protect you. Those devotees will protect you from the hands of those aggressors. So we can express this. So we can experience this. We can experience this at every moment in our lives. These aggressors are always there. You all know. I think you know. Well, I'm talking about me, but I think maybe you also have these feelings that there are these aggressors. Really, these aggressors can be in the person, in the thoughts. They come somehow in the thoughts. They From where they come, this is another question. They come in our ideas. These aggressors. From where they come, this is also another question. But they just come in the thoughts, they come in the ideas, they come in the attentions of the person, and so on. They can come also from outside, from situations which are happening with us. Situations are just happening, and so on and so on. Some war is just happening. Nobody knows why. Uh, how it has begun, but it just begins. Um, and also other things, even if in at the moment in some society there is not war, there is peace in the society in some country, but if somebody is, for example, ill, they have a big problem. This person is ill, and maybe, or there is some other personal problem which is really um, uh, detrimental and really big problem. So it doesn't matter if there is peace in the country, if there are some problems which are really very bad, they are still disturbing the souls. So we see there are always some aggressors. And he says here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, the only way is to, he's citating this verse um, from this uh, from this Brihadaranya Purana, or how it was. He's setting the verse, um, the verse Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalona Steva, Nasteva, Nasteva, Gatir Amata. Neta. Gatir Neta. So he's setting this verse from uh, Brihat Brihat something Purana. Just a moment, let's see how it was. Brihadaranya Purana, something like this. Oh, what it was, where it was. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, one should chant the holy name. This is the only way in this Kali Yuga. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's here, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, one should call out to the Vaishnavas, protectors of the path of Sri Krishna, the killer of the demon Baka. And those devotees will protect you from the hands of those aggressors. So it's not exactly the same thing, but a little bit. It's still a little bit similar, because those who are protectors of the path of Sri Krishna, they are in their nature. There are like Krishna, and if they are pure devotees of Krishna, then calling their name loudly will give joy to Krishna because they are pure devotees to Krishna. So there is not such a big difference. Yes, it must be not the same, of course, but I just wanted to compare them, these two statements. Yes. So anyway, there is some practical proposition in Raghunath Das Goswami's verse 5 of practical proposal of Raghunath Das Goswami in the verse 5 of Shrimad Shiksha. He says, O mind, O brother, you should call out to those Vaishnavas, the protectors, the path of Sri Krishna, the killer of Baka. Yes, and in verse 6, the next one can see that actually it could be like this, that really these pure devotees have helped one who is calling out, whose mind is calling out for help, and really they have helped. And then what can happen still? What can still happen? It could be that the person is still a little bit um, in illusion, because what is said in verse 6, O wicked mind, although you adopt the path of sadhana, you imagine yourself purified. You imagine yourself purified, so there is illusion. By bathing in the trickling urine of the great donkey of full-blown deceit and hypocrisy. By doing so, you are simultaneously burning yourself and scorching me, a tiny jiva. Stop this. Delight yourself and me by eternally bathing in the nectarian ocean of pure love for the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna Yukula. So, Rachita Pradyakapata Kutunati Parakara. This is the same verse 6, yes. Arechita Pradyakapata Kutinati Parakara. Arechita Pradyakapata Kutinati Parakara. Ksharan Mutres Natva Devasi. Katam Atmanam Apima. Ksharan Mutres Natva Devasi. Katam Atmanam Apira. Sadatam Kandarva Kiridara. Pada Prema Vilasa. Sadatvam Gandharva Giridhara. Sadatvam Gandharva Giridhara. Pada Prema Vilasat. Tam Budhau Snatvasvam Api. Nitaram Mam Chasukaya. Sutam Budhau Snatvasvam Api. Nitaram Mam Chasukaya. Sutam Budhau Snatvam Svam Api. Nitaram Mam Chasukaya.
Aricita prodyat kapata kotinati barakara sharamudra snatvadavasi katamatmana apimava sadatvam gandharva giridhara pada prema vilasa sutam bodha snatva svamapi nitaramam chasukaya.
So it is not easy to be very fast on the bhakti path. There is maybe still some illusion, even if we are already on the path of sadhana. So, of course, I'm talking about myself here. I don't know. You are maybe perfect persons, perfect devotees. So, like this. And anyway, as said in verse 5, one should say also, as Srila Raghunath Goswami saying, "Oh mind, pray, call out to the devotees, the protectors of the path of Shri Krishna, the killer of the demon Baka." We should actually also have we should additionally to trying to do sadhana, we have to have association with devotees also, especially association with the devotees who themselves have disciples, who themselves have students. Yes, so in the in this mood, I say every time that actually I consider all of you who are devotees of Lord Krishna, who are devotees in the Rupanuga line, the Rupanuga Bhakti path. You are all my gurus, you are all my teachers. I pay obeisances to you. You are all my Shiksha gurus. Well, you are all my gurus. You're all my teachers. So I pay obeisances to you, Dandavat Pranam. Vanchakapadaru Prachakripa Sindhu Pevachapatna Pavanebhu Vishnavebhu Namo Namaha. So if I try to say something on Vedic literature, you should know I'm not trying to instruct anybody because I'm not qualified on these topics. But I'm just only trying to understand these topics. But of course, one have to try to understand the Vedic literature under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. Thank you so much for your attention. Hare Krishna.